Class valedictorian, nature lover, murder victim. The body of 20-year-old Paula Payne was found near the Dayton Museum of Natural History, now the Boonshoft, in 1977, launching one of the most sensational murder mysteries in the Miami Valley. Now, decades later, cold case detectives are still working to find her killer and are pinning renewed hopes on one important clue. To those who knew Paula Payne, it seemed nothing could keep her from a promising future.
You know, she was genuinely nice and caring and smart and driven.
And what drove Paula, says her younger sister Abigail, was a passion for nature, especially birds, which she loved to watch. It's why she chose to study biology at Earlham College.
She was great. Yeah, she was super enthusiastic.
Tom Hissong was the curator of education at the Dayton Museum of Natural History, where Paula was teaching classes to children in the summer of 1977.
The kids really paid attention to her and followed her, and yeah, she was remarkable.
On the morning of August 9th, Paula had to get to work early and was walking alone. A witness later told police she saw Paula walk across the Ridge Avenue Bridge just after 8 a.m., but she never made it to the museum.
So come time for the classes to start, there was no Paula.
I was the one that got the phone call from the museum that said, she's not at work.
Hissong and a co-worker went searching for Paula and backtracked along the now overgrown wooded trail that used to lead to the museum's main entrance.
Right about in here is where we saw something had been, scuffled the leaves.
This police diagram shows the killer dragged Paula about 80 feet into the woods.
We kind of walked that direction, and then there she was.
A discovery he cannot forget.
It tore me apart.
It was something that devastated not only me, but devastated my parents. And, I'm sure my parents never recovered from it.
Investigators quickly determined how Paula was killed.
She was strangled with her own clothing. Her blouse actually was used to tie around her neck.
It's unclear if she was sexually assaulted.
It's not something we can rule out because there were other things that occurred to her, such as a bite mark on her breast.
But figuring out who did it has proven difficult. Cold case detective Doyle Burke says they are now zeroing in on Paula's blouse, which has never been tested for DNA.
When you can put that murder weapon in somebody's hands, it's going to be difficult for somebody to work their way out of that.
They've sent that murder weapon and other evidence to the lab, hoping today's advanced forensics can lead them to the killer.
This is the case, and it's impossible to go through here quickly.
And they are reviewing files from decades of investigative work and tell me they've not ruled out any previous persons of interest. One, a former boyfriend who called Paula the night before she was killed.
But I do distinctly remember her ending the call by saying, well, I really have to get up early tomorrow morning because I'm going in early.
Detectives have also looked at a man accused but never charged for raping a woman in these same woods just a month before Paula's murder. Tom Hissong calls himself a peace-loving man.
So that person has lived 46 years, all right, out, free.
But when it comes to the person who killed his friend,
It would be hard for me to contain my rage and not go after that person with my hands ready to go around his neck.
Abigail Payne wants her sister's killer to go to prison.
After 45 years, you learn to live with it, right? But there would be a huge amount of comfort that I would receive from it.
Comfort in finally knowing who stole the life of a promising young woman here among nature and the birds that she loved. And even all these years later, detectives want to hear from anyone who may know something about this or any other unsolved murder. You can call the Dayton Police Cold Case Unit at 937-333-7109, and you can remain anonymous.